Hello, internet people. How you doing tonight? Are you doing good? I hope so. So, I have good news tonight. Tonight, we get to do another installment of the Legacy Golf Challenge. This has been something I've had to push off a few weeks now, just because things weren't working out. Either a platform wasn't fit for prime time, or I couldn't get the software lined up for it. But yes, we at least get one extra installment today, which is the Sega Dreamcast. We've got I was able to find in the entire Dreamcast library, it seems like there was only 4 golf games, which seems to line up pretty well with the challenge, because I tend to go on average 1 golf game per hour. So I think we're gonna be okay. At least for a week, anyhow. So, enough waffling from me. Let's just switch on over. All right, advertisements. Right, as soon as I start the stream, I don't get pre-rolls, but I do get that 3 minutes an hour set of ads. So what I'm gonna do, let's see if I can just refresh that for a minute here. There. There we go. Now let's get some nice background music going. Alright. So this Dreamcast holds itself together pretty well, but I made one folly. I never replaced the battery in here. Actually, this Dreamcast is... This Dreamcast is one of those times where I'm very glad that computers cannot feel pain, because this thing should not run. I have I think I have like a generation, like the last generation of board, but then I've put in like the first generation of cooler, and then the optical drive has been replaced with an ODE. And the power supply has been replaced with a something that doesn't take in 120 volts AC into the case, because that makes me very uneasy. And I'm actually really impressed with how well it looks right now, because I fixed it yesterday. Was it yet? No, Friday. So Friday I managed to finally fix the last of this thing's problems, which was that there was this really bad video interference that it would get. So you'd get these like white staticky bands that would like sweep up and down the screen at seemingly random intervals, and it was very noticeable. Except now it's not doing that anymore, because it was just a matter of changing the 12-volt DC power supply. Alright, so let's see. It's February 2nd. Let's see. 1720. There we go. So yes, I had coughed up for a Terra Onion mode, and it does the job quite well. I'm very pleased with it. There were some other solutions as well, but they ended up just being more trouble than they were worth, to be completely honest. And I'm not a slouch when it comes to technology, but some of that was an unnecessarily tremendous pain in my ass. But this works out pretty well. One of the features I like about the mode is it can take a SATA hard disk. So you don't need to get like a 128. You don't need to cough up for like a 128 gigabyte SD card or swap them out all the time. I just got a 200, I think I got like a 256 gig SSD out of like a dead workstation somewhere. So it was a lot more accessible for me. And it does the job. I was debating coughing up for a second one to put into my Sega Saturn, but I instead got something else called a Fenrir. Alright, so which games do we want to play here? I think I want to start with, you know, let's just go from the top down. There's 4 games, 4 times to do it. Now, this is a Japanese game, so it likely has its own music. True Motion of the Duck Corporation. That's amazing. That's an amazing name. Soft Max. Maximum soft. And there's silence. Nope, there's music. Look, a person. Look, a cliff. They're having a fight over a cliff. This is gonna be amazing. Nope, never mind. There's gonna golf. I thought one of them was gonna get thrown off a cliff. How did they get up there? Okay, I think I've had enough. I've had enough. The golf game. That title. Wow. Start button. Main select. Let's do a free round. Stroke play? I think stroke play. Enjoy play. Slot 1. Import A. Akio. Shurian. Catherine, Christine. I'll just go with the default. Actually, no, let's see here. We've got... I wonder if there's somebody more balanced. So we have high control. Balanced-ish. Spin and whatever wise means. So, I'm torn between Aiko or Catherine. Let's see. So Catherine has low control and more power. But the rest is pretty much the same. Oh, and higher wise, whatever that is. You know, let's try it. Let's try playing around with Catherine. We have Japan course, America course, Scotland course, Africa course, Australia course. I don't think I've ever golfed. I don't think in any of my golf games I've gotten to play a course from Africa. So let's try that. That seems like a cool idea. Now, did they just make up the course, or is it based on a real one? And I went outside for for a quick errand and to visit family, and like, holy crap. It's minus 30 Celsius out there, and it is terrifying. Like, people are slipping and sliding everywhere. Actually, maybe I'm oversharing, but we almost canceled today because somebody managed to slide through an intersection and like T-bone the family member's car. Supersonic Soft, Rockets, DC 432 TL, Breeze. Let's go with the most non-marketable name. The DC 432 TL. Big Super Heighten. Big Super Heighten versus Indeed. Versus Force. Big Super Heighten versus Stage 2. $295, $281. Is there a 300? $297, $295. We'll go with that one. Versus Super Heighten versus Woman. Super Heighten versus Stage 2. Versus Indeed. We'll go with this one. Sure, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just fucking around. Play carefully because this hole is a dog leg. I like how most of this is English for a Japanese game. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, so... Okay, it's... So it's the 3-button press with A, so that's good. One wood. Wait, why is it making me use a 1 wood? There we are, 3 wood. That'll do. Oh, that's not good. Oh, you can just goof it when you don't land that. Okay. That'll do. That was okay. All right. A. 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 Okay, so that's odd. flat. Interesting. I wonder if this is one of those 50% is always the proper distance things. No, it's not. I think it's the end of the grid is the maximum putt distance. So a double bogey, not terrible. Not terrible for getting my bearings. Five wood, a 3-iron. I think a 4-iron. A 4-iron. A 4-iron should do just fine. Alright. Pow-pow! Yeah, as soon as the winter gets this cold, like minus 30 or minus 40 Celsius, winter tires don't help you. Like, they just don't. Like, even if you get the best ones money can buy, they just start getting progressively less performant as it cools off. So at minus 40 or minus 50, you're still in trouble. I always tell folks, as soon as it hits 30, you should really, if you have an excuse to not go outside, you should take it. But if it's minus 40, like public infrastructure starts to break down, like power starts to go out, buses stop running, trains don't run. And at minus 50, it's an emergency. You stay inside, you don't go anywhere. But do people listen to me? Nah. What does a nerd like me know? Oh, shit. You know, it was funny, a few years back, there was a blackout in my, like, where I live. And when I called to see what was up, they said, "Oh yeah, we've had a relay station go down." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, what happened?" It's like, "Well, somebody's truck spun out and smacked into a pole, and that pole was feeding a substation." Sorry, and those lines on that pole were feeding a substation. That caused a... Was it that, or was it after the substation? I think it was a power line. Actually, it was a power line after a substation. Got knocked down. Because the guy just spun out. I can't really blame him either. So you can only, like, leverage... You can only leverage tires and driving skills so far. At some point, it's just not safe to do. Okay, so they do punish you for going over 100%. What a good shot that was. They made me see it hit the ball 3 times. Oh, I guess that wasn't so good. This thing's holding its own pretty well, I must say. Well, this looks fancy, doesn't it? It's holding its own. Actually, I figured out that weird static band that, like, on the Dreamcast. Like, I think the last time I played it, there was some, like, white staticky streaks going across the screen. But how you doing, Sunfall? You doing good? I hope so. 7 yards, and the maximum is 10 yards, so 70%. That's probably 7. Ah, DC, that explains it. Yeah, and you know, I managed to test the 4, I found 4 golf games. I think that was all of them. So, hopefully I got them all. But that fits in perfectly for like one installment of the challenge, right? Because it's usually 1 golf game an hour. But yeah, I was troubleshooting for a very long time, like where this weird, like, staticky interference was coming from. And I accidentally fixed it. It was the power brick I was using, because I'm not using the OEM power supply. And it's not that I have a problem with it. It's not that there was something wrong. It's just what are the 4 games? Three Japanese ones called, oh, I have them here in my golf list. Golf Shiyuyo Adventure Hen, Golf Shiyuyo 2, Netto Golf, and T-Golf. Those are the ones I managed to find. My search, my Google foo is really weak though, so I'm not really sure if that's an exhaustive list or not. So we'll use a 9-iron. We're gonna go a little bit lower, like here. Oh. Straight into a bunker. So, you been up to any good mischief these days? Apparently Sports Jam has golf as one of its sub-games. Ah, okay. So there was one I missed. That's fine. I can grab that one. I can grab that one a little bit later. Or I can do it on like a supplicant day. Like in the middle of switching platforms. So I also have the Sega Saturn. Okay, I was told the Saturn has some really good ones. Actually, these are... I'm saying that as if these aren't good, but actually I'm kind of enjoying this one. There's also Crazy Golf Mode and Crazy Taxi, but that might be too divergent. I didn't know there was a golf game in Crazy Taxi. I'm doing fine, nothing exciting to report, although I did have an in-person board game night on Friday. Oh, that's good, that's good! Got to get together with some friends. That's good. I think it's actually in Crazy Taxi 2. Ah! I'll see if I do have it. Maybe I don't. I think I put Crazy Taxi in, but not the second. Well, I'll have to take a look here a little later. I think I'm good for... My work had 2 outings in 1 week. Yeah, this seems like a perfectly solid golf game. You know, it does the job. I'm actually, well, I say I'm actually really pleased with it, as if games of this era weren't good, but... I just wasn't expecting it to be like this. Frankly, I was expecting it to be harder to operate. No way. Well, shit. I wasn't expecting that one at all. Seems very everybody's golf / Hot Shots golf. What is the thing I'm trying to say with this game? It's right at this cusp of being not really minimum viable product, but it feels a little like something's missing. But there isn't. Everything that you would expect is present. I think it's, to be honest, I think it's the graphics that are doing me in. I think I expected a little bit more of the Dreamcast, or of Dreamcast games. I think that's what it is. The course is a little bland. Yeah, that's what I think feels off. It feels like there could be more. But this is the first game out of 2, so it is possible that gets fixed up there. It needs like 30% more decorations. Yeah, I think that's it. I think they're relying on textures too much instead of like course decoration. like, other than that, there's nothing really wrong with it. It feels a little too golfing in the void. Yeah, where was that one? There was that one PlayStation 2 golf game. And to just save on memory and computing requirements, they just made a skybox that was green. He's made, yeah, what was it, like a green skybox in the bottom and then a blue one on top. And then they made the course colors match so that they didn't have to compute all of the terrain. It almost feels like that, but they're not. They're actually having this go off into the They actually have the span of the course, and then they kind of just fade it out with fog. Ooh. Oh, this one's gonna be rough. There we go. And bunker. Of course I get it in the bunker. Yeah, that'll do. There. That should get me close to the hole. That didn't even get me on the green. Yeah, I was lamenting about how cold it is outside. I had to go out to visit family, and I reached that point where a slight breeze on my face gave me a massive headache just being outside. It's kind of scary out there right now. Alright, sand wedge, 35 yards. I'm 16 yards away, so we're just gonna do halfway. There we go. But it stays like this. I'm glad I invested in the bad life choice of lithium-ion electric slippers. Because my god, am I cozy. But I'm also at risk of, like, lighting my own feet on fire. But the price was right. And now I'm thinking of ways to modify these so I don't have to constantly recharge them. I'm sure they're 5-volt power bricks. So I wonder if it's just a matter of getting larger 5-volt, not power bricks, power banks. Because that's their solution, is 5-volt power banks put into waterproof zipper pockets. And then just don't let any of the wires come out. So if I just get bigger ones and stick them on the outside, then I can have all day warm feet. Alright, let's see how much of a risk I can take. Oh, that's bad. No, I got it. Ooh, very nice. Yes, I was going into the my stance on temperature in town. If you hit minus 30 and you can think of an excuse to not go outside, you take that excuse. It doesn't matter if it's a good one. Minus 40, public infrastructure starts to fail. Like, buses stop working, trains stop working, power goes out. And then at minus 50, that's an emergency. You're not going anywhere. Oh, that's pretty close. Alright, 17. Alright, so if that's... Yeah, we'll do 50%. There's a very tight window in hitting that ball. Alright, let's see. 9 yards, 30 yards. There. Ooh, that was close. So I think I was talking about this yesterday, but I think I've accidentally made an AI bot watch my... I think I said the wrong things, and now an AI bot is watching my Blue Sky account for things I say. And I'm not sure what to do with this power. And I'm wondering how far is considered inappropriate. Because what I did was I have been like cataloging the play-by-play on my stupid fucking journey on putting like enterprise grade storage solutions in my computer, because I'm not taking my own advice when I tell people to like make the computers they rely upon resilient. And one thing led to another, and I started lamenting about connector codes for like the marketing names of the cables for SAS and NVMe storage. And the connector codes are called SFF. So I was lamenting how I asked for the marketing terms for certain cables, and then the vendor who sold me the storage cage and the vendor who sold me the cables used different terms, used the same term for different cables, despite them not matching. The guy for the storage cage, I said, well, what's the connector type? And they said it is slimline SAS. And I go, okay, so I go to the cable manufacturer and I say, or the people selling the cables, not manufacturing them. And I said, hey, I need mini SAS to slimline SAS. Then the storage cage comes. It's Oculink. So then I was lamenting, shit, I think I need to memorize the SFF codes. Well, it turns out there's a forum for science fiction fan fiction. And for some reason, there's an AI bot for it that listens for the phrase SFF and then follows you and then comments on things you say about SFF. So now every time I talk about cables, I'm worried that it's going to start commenting. And now I want to see if I can trick it into saying things it shouldn't. Oh. I even got the three-hit replay, like I did a good job. I wonder if anybody's managed to call... Okay, so most of these LMMs, they run on like Linux platforms, I imagine. So I wonder what it is I have to do to trick it into executing rm minus r /. I wonder if I could. That would be a... Oh. I mean, that would be a dick move, but it would be mildly funny. But I would have no way to know if it worked. I could trick it into telling me something it really shouldn't. Like how to extract arsenic from apple cores. That would be kind of funny. There we go. Now I just have to not goof this up. I goofed this up. That gauge is really not forgiving. On a phone call, but oof. All good, all good. It's all good. Alright, over the water hazard. But a big ol' swing. There we go. Right on the nose. Whee! Oh, I hit the tree. And it's going in the water now. No, did I get across? Okay, no, I didn't get across, but I was saved a water hazard. Yeah, we'll go here. And 50%, and we can sink it and go home. Only a double bogey for all those whiffed ones. That's not bad. Being risky. Fairway edge. Oh, that's good. That's good. I thought I was going to hit semi-rough there. One yard up. That'll do. Alright. 22 yards away. This goes 35. So here. A little hard, but I'll take it. This should be 50 on the nose. Oh, shit. And only a bogey. Play this hole, paying attention to the bunkers. I'm going now that it's told me what to do, I'm going to deliberately ignore the bunkers out of spite. Interesting. Wow, she's got a hell of a curve shot. Okay, so then I want to be here, and I want to overdrive my shot. And I hit a tree. Oh, it's not a bad place to be. It could be worse. It could be a worse place. A little under 50% then. Because 15 is half of 30, that's 35. So that means that would be 16. Okay, so about here. No, wait, I went the opposite. No, I wanted to go under by that amount, not over. Shit. Oh well. Oh well. There we go. That was only a bogey. Oh. Wow, that was strong. But I want to be down here, not the other way. Hooray, I'm adequate. That should get me between the trees. Hopefully. Nah, I hit one of the trees. But I landed roughly where I needed to be. Good stuff. Oh, why did that go off twice? Alright, well, let's finish up this hole in about the 60 seconds we got, and then we gotta take a break for... Take a 3-minute ad break. Oh. Oh, is that gonna make it? Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can sink it in the next few seconds we got. So I think we got 20 seconds. 1, 20, 19, 18, 16, 17, 14, 15, 12. No, we're not gonna... Ah, shit. 3, 2, 1. All right, and we're at an ad break. Let's put it on standby here. All right. So for those who are around, we'll be back in about We'll be back in about 3 minutes, so take a time here to get up and stretch and move around and get any errands out of the way if you need to. And don't go too far, we'll be back soon. All right, thank you all for being patient. Okay, let's get back to the golf game. So it's funny, we actually had another person in yesterday, and they're in psychology, and they were talking about. We started talking about psychology in platforms like Twitch or user interfaces, and I was complaining that it made no sense to me that people were upset to have an ad in front of a stream to then never have ads again for the duration of the stream. But they would prefer 3 minutes every hour. I didn't understand why. They brought up a concept that was pretty interesting to me. what it is by putting the ad up in front for 3 minutes, it acts as a... It almost acts like a barrier to what it is you want to do. And just the very act of putting a barrier in place deters people from wanting it. And so people would be willing to have 3 minutes, an hour, if it means that they weren't obstructed in the first place. And while I personally don't think I would want that, or like why I would do that, but while I personally don't think I would do that, there's a very real chance in some way I have already done something like that. Alright, let's see. $60 yards, hey? We're going 81? Alright. A little low, but... Should have done it in quarters, actually. I just went to 2/3. Instead of 3/4. It's a shame that Sega hooped it so badly that they don't make hardware anymore. It would have been exciting to see what kind of new stuff they came up with. Alright, 126 yards, 134, alright. That was a good hit. That should do. So if that's 30 yards, we're gonna go we'll go 1/3. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, 2 more holes and then we're done. Which one is this? We would be finished. Golf Shiyuyo. 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 Golf Shiyuyo. Wapow! That was a pretty good hit, I must say. Yeah, that'll do. That won't, though. There. That'll do better. Alright. 16 yards away, maximum putt 30 yards. We're going to go slightly above 50%. Right by it. Shit. There we go. Alright, 430 yards. Alright, we're gonna give it a little extra beans. We're going to exceed the recommended amount of beans. Yeah, this'll do. I'll just go a little bit under 100. I accidentally put it to 100. Well, it was a little short anyway. Let's see. 11 yards away, this is 35 yards. Hopefully here. There we go. All right, last hole. Very nice. Oh no. Oh no. Oh jeez. Okay, we'll get out of the way of that tree. Oh, and I goofed it. That should get me over the tree. There we go. Very nice. Alright, so we're gonna get this to 80%. Actually, 90%. There we go. Oh, that was a good putt. You know, I ended on a bogey, and that was a two goofed up shots. Not bad at all. Even though they're wallowing in despair. Plus 15 is not bad. For a professional, that's terrible. But for me, that is not bad at all. The golf game. Alright, so that was Golf Shiyuyo. So now we're going to play the second one. Just going to grab a little bit of my snack. Made a mistake. Made a mistake, everybody. I got my hands on salt and vinegar chips. My mouth is going to be bleeding, I'm going to be dehydrated. And I'm going to regret nothing. One of the few joys in my life. Salt and vinegar. into the digital fever. I love when they try and make something English. And I'm not saying that sarcastically, it's kind of adorable. Like Asus's motto, English motto used to be rock solid heart touching. You know, like, no one. It's the golf game, you know, the one. The golf game. Ah, but it's the second one. They put a 2. Alright, let's do a free round. So we previously played an African course. It just was called Africa course. Now it's Zimbabwe. Let's see. Unknown course. England course. Sweden course. Have I ever played a Swedish golf course? I'm pretty sure I've played a Brazilian golf course before. Wait. Oh, Hawaii course, America course. I was like, why is the American flag in here twice? You know what? Let's play a Swedish course. Well, you know what we did was we just flattened a bunch of snow and we used some of that snow paint and made it green. Just watch your step. Wait, was there evening? That seems like a good idea. Yeah, that looks nice. I'm glad you're paying attention. Wait. We're gonna really play a messed up Swedish course. Alright, stroke play. Number 1. On port A. Now, let's see, we have guy. We have girl. We have other girl. We have other girl. We have guy. Bobby. Okay, we have more here. Gina. I don't even know how you apply spin to the ball. Okay, who's got highest power here? Gina. Gina has the highest power and control. But no spin, no luck, and I don't know what Wise does, but let's go with Gina. I'll use defaults. Actually, I can't change that at all. And no handicap. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see how bad this is now. Now that I've, like, hyper-elevated everything. I've just amplified all of the terrain. Just busting an ankle going to the green. Okay, this is so much better. This mini-map is helping me immensely. I got a replay too. And I just can't make it, so I'm gonna have to shoot here. Oh, that's what wisdom does. Because I get a... Interesting. I'm not gonna make it with this club. I'm gonna plow into the side. Now I will make it here. So now I have a lot of elevation to contend with. If only I knew that before amplifying all the terrain. Birdie chance, try hard. It was a good approach shot. Yes. It sure was. Hey, Bees, how you doing? You doing good? I hope so. The game said so. We trust it. Let's see. Got 10 yards. 4 yards to rest. The putter goes 10 yards. A little under 50%. And boop. No, I didn't try hard. No. If only the ground wasn't so elevated. What kind of monster let this happen? Hey, but I got par, though. So, up to any good mischief, Bees? I'll tell you, tomorrow for me is going to be some bullshit. Finally getting a root canal finished. It's like right at 8 in the morning. I think that'll do. Sounds like a good way to ruin your whole week, I'll say. This whole root canal bullshit's been a saga. There's like a guy started it, and then he just fucked off. I'm like, guys, I kind of have a tooth full of cement. Are you gonna, you know, clean it out and finish? I'm like, yeah, we'll get to it. They can get to it. I go to another dentist, and they're just looking at me weird. Be like, you let it go for that long? Like, I didn't let it go for shit. When I get told to wait, and I wait, you know, folks don't get to turn around and say it was my fault. But yeah, then I went to another dentist. They're getting me to a specialist, and the specialist is like, "Yeah, we'll get it. We'll finish." And here it is. I thought I could be a little more clever, but I can't. There's a good landing. Holy shit. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's gonna be a miserable week. Actually, I have to make a phone call to the bank after stream, I just remembered. So I have to tell... Because this place is gonna finish. They were like, yeah, we can do it just fine, and yeah, we're covered by insurance, but we won't do the paperwork, so you pay us and then you go do the paperwork. So I have to tell my bank, don't panic. I don't want these people repossessing my teeth. Don't fuck this up for me. Dentist Thanos snaps your teeth. I don't feel so good. Drop my dent. Teeth drop out like an old man's dentures. I shouldn't be trusted with false teeth. If anybody's gonna do pranks with them, it's gonna be me. Hide them in a cake. Leave them in a jar with 2 eyeballs in it. Actually, these are good ideas. I want to do this stupid bullshit now. Well, I don't have dentures, but... if I did... I like how they're celebrating such a great shot and I can't even get over the little ridge because I massively amplified the terrain. This is amazing. And... oh, a little too hard. Oh, I missed. No. I'm getting like a triple bogey out of this. Alright, hole 3. Alright, we're gonna give it a walloping. I must say the gauge is easier to read now. I like that from the first one. Sorry, I like that better than the first one. Okay, so that lands perfect. But I have to get it at 100% power. Stop rolling, stop it. Okay, so I'm putting uphill, hey? I think I need... not 50. I think I need maybe 60. Oh, I skipped right over it. Be gentle, because I'm going downhill. And I missed. That's what I should have got ready for tonight. A pot of tea. That would have been nice. Oh well. Too late now. Yes, that was an okay hit. That was a sufficient hit, a cromulent hit. Fantastic. Amazing. Alright. 50%. I like how it keeps replaying it as if it was the greatest thing ever witnessed. It does make me feel better about myself. So I want 30%. There we go. We're getting somewhere. We're making it work. She's entirely too happy for a basic-ass par. Yay! I'm average! I mean, I kind of celebrate my mediocrity, too, considering how subpar I am at most of my life. I didn't die today! Yay! I want to be that excited at completing basic things in my life. I think I would have a happier life I wonder what's necessary to have that level of happiness. A lobotomy? No, I think her wits are more about her than a lobotomized person, so it's not that. Maybe I am just miserable. Right, that's something I still need to like mentally register about this game. Is that the rough subtracts 40 to 65% from all of your readings. It doesn't show you the new readings. You just have to take everything it shows you and subtract. Really? It did the triple "I'm proud of you" replay for that? I mean, that's how most golf games work. I mean, yes. I guess they do. Well, some just update the user interface to the new values. But yes, I've played enough that I should know this by now. There's a lot of things in this world I should know by now. The ones with the big bold percentages in the corner expect you to do the math. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Add the values, stupid. I'm getting notifications for sure. I don't know if I've talked about my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory about telecommunications, but I don't think SIM swapping went away. What I think has happened, and there was a few years ago, some telecom businesses got in shit for this. And it wasn't the telecom's fault, it was... Okay, no. It was partly their fault. But what had happened was, instead of attackers calling like a phone company, pretending to be the target, and convincing them to swap SIM cards, like a phone number to a new SIM card, for either multi-factor authentication, bypassing, or to hijack the number to do a scam call. It turns out it never really went away. People thought it went away because it was really obvious when it happened, because the victim would lose cell access. Like their phone would drop off the tower, and then they couldn't make any phone calls. They had no data plan. So they knew right away that it happened. What this bust proved was that it never really left. What had happened was, instead of calling in and pretending to be the victim, they just got positions at the phone company and then would take either the crime ring would plant somebody in the phone company who would do the swap and then swap back, or they would bribe somebody who was already in the phone company to do it. Now, what I think has happened, and this is the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory I have, is I think now they no longer do it to bypass MFA. They now use it to do burner numbers. I think they're doing the swap to do a scam call, and then once they're done the call, they swap it back. And the reason I think that is I've had like 4 incidents now where I get this like pile of notifications for like 30 seconds straight. And then 5 to 10 minutes later, I get a very angry call back because somebody spoofed my number. So now I'm thinking maybe somebody didn't spoof my number. Maybe they actually used my number. Because now I'm getting scam calls where it shows SIM verified. Oh, there we go. At least I think it was SIM verified last time it happened. Anyway, I'm taking the tinfoil hat off now. It's itchy. There, perfectly lined up for the hole. I think a good old-fashioned walloping will do. It was a good approach shot. Wow. It was a good approach shot. I'm glad somebody recognizes my talents. She seems less excited about that than a par. I think this will do just fine. There we go. A little bit downhill, eh? Oh, no. There we go. so happy for mediocrity. I'm proud of her. Celebrating success is good for the psyche. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard that once, and that's what I say to myself to convince myself about being insufferable about my successes. So my employer had 2 separate public functions last week, and I don't know, but I don't think I want to have liquor for a good while, because that was a lot. So we got sent. I think it was on Wednesday. I got taken out for was it tapas? And it was good. It was all gluten-free because somebody had celiac. And then the person who had celiac just didn't show up, so we all had gluten-free stuff. And it was surprisingly tasty. I got to experience chickpea french fries. That is something I've never thought I'd ever consume. I didn't even know you could make french fries out of chickpeas. But I mean, the more I think about it, the more feasible it is. Because it's just mashed up chickpea formed into little squares. Potato doesn't have gluten, does it? Or is it the breading? The breading contains gluten, but a potato doesn't contain gluten. Gluten is normally found in wheat. Or in certain types of grain. At least I'm pretty sure potato doesn't contain gluten. Yeah, that's what I thought. And so we had, was it chickpea fries? And then there was little chicken poppers, and they were breaded, but it wasn't, somehow the breading contained no gluten, so there was no wheat flour used at all, and I would not have known better if somebody hadn't told me. And then what was the other one? Little strips of steak with chimichurri. And then when we learned that the guy who was celiac who didn't show up, we then ordered pizza, which was amazing. Okay. I know a lot of people, like, when we talk about opulence, displays of wealth. I know some people, they'll think of things like, oh, I don't know, a yacht, or a Rolls Royce, or a big shiny Rolex. I think lugging out a giant-ass leg of prosciutto from your fridge is the penultimate display of wealth. Oh, that's too hard. No, that's too soft. Because, my god, that's the only way I can describe how much prosciutto they applied to this pizza. It was prosciutto, pear, and honey. Which sounds amazing. I love prosciutto. Actually, when my grandpa was still around, there was this... it was a pub, but It was one of those pubs that doesn't comprehend that it's a pub kind of pubs. And in lieu of bacon, they elected for prosciutto. Which, don't get me wrong, prosciutto's delicious. But when you serve a pub-faring crowd, that's very difficult. It's very difficult to pull off. So when my grandfather asks for bacon and eggs, and they go, well, we can give you prosciutto. Much misfortune to the chefs ensue. Because a grumpy old man who used to cook for soldiers being given uncooked thin as paper quote unquote bacon and trying to explain this is prosciutto. Like, okay, do you want us to go back and cook the prosciutto for you? It's like, yes! Asshole! Well, he didn't say it like that. He said it his own way. Which is a way, an old man would say it. But having to send, prosciutto and eggs back to cook the prosciutto. And then hearing, the chef asks, are you sure? I was like, yes! Well, we're getting close to advertisement time. Why are we getting the alerts twice now? Am I encountering a race condition of some kind? Alright, let's see if I can sink this hole in the next 60 seconds. And then we'll go on another 3-minute break. Too hard. No. I keep doing that. I keep thinking it's too hard. And... okay, 20 seconds left. A double bogey. We're about to crush this poor little lady's spirits. Alright, so let's take this time here, get up and stretch and move around and grab a snack and make a call, and don't go too far, we'll be back soon. Okay, we are back. Thank you all for being patient. That should be advertisements out of the way. Now let's get back to video game golf. There we go. Actually, I had trees in the way. Alright, let's give it a walloping. Amazing. Oh. That's my first, I think, fluff in this game. What do they call it? A fluff? What if you duffed it? I forget the term. I missed it. Yeah, that's duffing it. I duffed it. Let's see here. That should do. Kinda missed the elevation, though. Alright, 500 yards on the next one. Yes, this works perfect. Oh, that's a perfect one right there. Oh. Duffed it again. Now I'm getting a little too confident, I think. But I'm doing it again. And into the next rough. There we go. I realized if I was gonna lose 55 to 75, I couldn't shoot over the bunker. That looks pretty fine to me. Slightly to the left, so we're gonna do this. Let's see, we're putting uphill, so probably 25. No, not even close. Really? Triple bogey. Nice. That's a good hit right there. Well, I'll trust that gauge. Even though I probably shouldn't. Yeah, that's better than I thought. What I thought it was going to do is overshoot. Alright, 40 to 65%. That's 16 yards away. 20. Alright, so 50%-ish seems good to me. A little bit to the side. Alright. And we're putting a tiny bit uphill, so 50% should do. You son of a bitch. Shit. That was good. That was good though. I think I just let it go near the edge of the cup a bit too much. Okay, a little bit under. It was a good approach shot. Game said so. Birdie chance. Try hard. Yeah, birdie. All right, 3 more, and that's 2 games in the challenge out of the way, or this installment of the challenge out of the way. Amazing. Yeah, that should do. Oh no. Alright, let's try that again. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. And there. All right, 2 more. Second shot on a par 4. Looking at good pace here. Huh. Okay, well, I'll just hit a little under. Did they have to rub it in? Did they have to do that? That was a dick move. The worst duffing I've done. And they had to do the triple, wow, look at this replay on it. Can't believe that shit. That was so fucking rude. Unbelievable. As soon as I hit the first A, I realized I hit the wrong power and I wanted to back out. And then it wouldn't let me. So then I was hoping if I gave no further input that it would cancel, and it didn't. It just made it a horrific duff. Oh, no. I flinched. Yeah, well, I thought I could be a little bit of a rock star and shoot it over that bunker with an overshot. But no, that's not how that's gonna work out. But that worked. It's a pretty strong tilt. And we're going uphill. Damn it. Okay, let's drag this one over the finish line. Plus 13. Okay, well that's better than last time. Because I think last time it was plus 18, wasn't it? You know, that's not bad. That is not bad. We did it. So now we have the second, the golf game. Not one, but two golf games called, the golf game. Ooh. Alright. I think the next one is Netto Golf. It's alphabetical. Netto Golf. I think, is this the one that got network support put back? Sunflower, I remember you mentioning one that that was. Wow, it's a golf ball, but a fire. That means it's crazy action. Walking through an open field with too many drinks from the beer cart. I don't know what these are. 4 something, 1 something, 2 something, 4, 1, 1. I assume 1 player? You know what I need to do? I need to bust out Google Lens or Google Translate or whatever. And we're gonna have to figure it out together. Lens. Single player game. You will play each course with 30 other players. Your total score will determine your ranking. Okay. Two people. Why is training two people? Oh no, it didn't update the screen, that's why. One person, okay. Training. Alright. Okay, I think I stumbled through this menu before. And I'm just gonna leave this at default so I don't confuse myself. Clubs. Okay. We have... I don't know what that is. I bet you that's mini golf. Golfing at the beach. Golfing also at the beach. Golfing in the forest. Golfing in the dark abyss. And golfing in town? Okay. Now loading. Oh, this is a driving range. Well, shit. Is this exit? I know this means hi, and this means yeah. So yes. Okay, let's try this again. Put the clubs in the bag. So that's putting. So this is probably a course. Beach course. Yep, this is a golf course. Okay. We're on the right track. We're getting there. We're gonna find it. Okay. So what lets me... Okay, so those are that. How do I... Can I see my ball at its destination, or no? Okay. Shit. Well, which one? Wait, what? What? Do I have to pull the stick back? Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm figuring this out. Okay, I'm figuring out the controls now. I'm picking up what the game's putting down. I'm beginning to understand. You pull the stick back and you let go at the power level you want. And it's represented in yards. And the pull you make to the left or to the right determines your hook or slice. Oh, hey, Nate, how you doing? You doing good? I hope so. Up to any good mischief these days? Let's see, I am 28 yards away, so here. That's 40 yards. A little tired, but yeah, I'm good. Well, that's good, that's good. I'm glad you're good. We're just on the latter end of the Legacy Golf Challenge. We just started our third game. Life's been kind of boring. Started learning Chinese, though. Oh, yeah? Anything in particular pique your interest with it? Because for some folks, they... Wow, that's touchy. Some folks just learn a language for sports. Some will do it because there's like a particular need, you know. Part of it is the culture. I think Chinese culture is crazy cool. And so by learning the language, you learn more about it. Other than just I like learning languages. Well, that's, you know, that's a pretty good hobby. And actually, that's very useful. I used to be at like B2 level in French, native fluent English. I've crushed this poor man. I mean, out of any hobbies a fella can have, that is probably one of the most useful ones. B2 is the 4th level of the 6 fluency levels, by the way. I didn't know that there was fluency levels. Is that a French government thing, or is that just a universal classification? Language learning in general. Ah. A1 is just started, C2 is basically native. So C2 is basically native, so B2... So I take it B2 is you can relay advanced concepts. I take it. But you're not a native speaker. Well, like, that's a really... Admittedly, that's a really, really productive and healthy hobby to have. You can have fairly advanced conversations in that language. Oh, sorry. I see now. So how many do you know then? Is it just English and French currently? English and French currently. But my knowledge in French has dropped out probably around A2 because I haven't been using it. Well, if you've gotten there, you can get that back up pretty quick. Interestingly enough, to be in most, sorry, not to be, what am I trying to, come on, brain. I had like 4 thoughts and they all collided in my head, excuse me. In most federal positions in Canada, you have to be bilingual, and admittedly, I have not done anything to ever be in that position. Even I don't really know French that well. And what's really messed up is I learned it in school. It's just the province I'm in really doesn't have a lot of francophones. That makes sense for Canada, though, because they have 2 national languages for English and French. Yeah, and isn't it English and Spanish for the United States, even though Quebecois French is more of a bastardization of French? It's like, yeah, it's a bastardization. It's eaten some English words, and it's got some... It exists because of preservationism, so a lot of language, like, a lot of concepts in Quebec French are like 1800s French. And so, yeah, I've been told that like people who know metropolitan French struggle to understand Quebecers because it's a combination of old-time French with modern words, and then there's some phonemes that are used in Quebec French that aren't in metropolitan. And so it just becomes really hard for them to understand. And slang added on top, yeah. I tried to get myself trained up in Spanish, and I was using Duolingo. That's what I was using. But I ended up closing my account. Not to mention them not knowing how to swear outside of talking about the church. I got to hear a little bit more about Quebec's relationship with the church. And they called it, what did they call it? The silent... It was a term they used. It wasn't like the silent rebellion or like the silent revolt. But basically, the Quebec people started cluing in that maybe the church isn't really the most ethical of organizations and shouldn't be in charge of people's lives. And so they just very slowly just rejected the church. They didn't like burn anything, which they misspelled because the French would be spelling tabernacle. The K is never used in French like that. Yeah, it's true. It is true. Okay, a double bogey. It's not... It's getting better. He's now just really sad. But language localization is a thing, whether it's good localization or not. Whether it meets... Whether it's graceful or not, I suppose. Yeah, so I myself was trying to learn Spanish with Duolingo, but I ended up closing my account because they had a breach, and how they handled the breach just made me pissed off enough that I just chose to close the account. What the breach was is they had a publicly accessible database, and it included the information you used to sign on. In some cases, it even included your phone number. And when Duolingo was told about it, they really didn't take it very well. And that was enough for me to say, like, you know what, I don't really need to learn this way. And then I kind of just stopped. I'm using a throwaway account for mine, so I don't care if they steal my data. Yeah, because there isn't really a way to prove, or they don't ask for a lot of that information. And nothing that doesn't absolutely need it gets my phone number. Unfortunately, they're getting wise now. You can't use a bogus number. Oh. Yeah, if there's an app that wants it for no reason, I uninstall the app instantly. Well, that's healthy. If you don't need the app... If you don't need the app, and it needs your number, and it doesn't use your number for anything, why have the app? I want to talk to you about your car's extended warranty on your 1998 Toyota Corolla, even though you don't own one. Because somebody else bought your information and got their own car registered under your name. Or that's just what you put in. It's okay, my car's long outside its extended warranty. Changed your oil once, you got no warranty now, it's been voided. ...2006 Ford F-150 with 250,000 miles. They don't want to warranty that anymore. That's not a warranty anymore, that's a liability. Yeah, I know I crushed this guy's spirit. You know, I was criticizing the previous game for being a bit barren. And admittedly, this one is too. But I think the difference is how this is presented. That makes this, I think, more tolerable. Or not tolerable, that makes this a little more comfortable despite that. And if I ever get into a crash, my insurance company's gonna be like, yeah, that's literally worth more in scrap than it is in truck. Which is quite liberating. Oh, that's gonna curve into the water, isn't it? Hey, maybe they'll give me enough for an upgrade. They won't. You have to have shit dumb luck for that. I'm gonna be... This guy's gonna hole out. Or stroke out. I don't think this is gonna work. I leave it unlocked in cities and shit even, just hoping someone steals it and it never shows up again. At that point, you're just more concerned about the stuff in the car rather than the car itself. And the only valuable thing that is ever in my car are my headphones, which are $160 and I can replace. Did I overshoot? Oh, a little bit. $11 shots. Plus 8. Oh, par 3. I also don't know if you ever saw it, but to finish that thought on national languages, the US doesn't and never has had one. Oh, it didn't. Interesting. So they hadn't defined one at all. That's interesting. But I suppose for a country that presents itself as a melting pot, defining a specific language, national language, is kind of counterintuitive to that. There's some of the more common ones we could define, but it would have to be at least 4. Because I know you would have English. I know at least you'd have English, Spanish, French. Okay. English, Spanish, Mandarin, and Hindi. Isn't there a dialect of French in the southern US? Was it Creole? Is that right? Am I thinking that correctly? Like, was it Creole French? I've heard that term before. Creole, yeah. Mainly in Louisiana. Oh, shit. This gauge is immensely touchy. That group is relatively small, though, I believe. I would imagine it's remnants from the French colonies before they were bought. Yeah, I imagine a lot of people would just, yeah, not speak it anymore. Alright, we're halfway through. Well, we're getting pretty close to halfway through. But we are at 3 hours. This might go a bit longer than I thought. Apparently it's the 6th most spoken language with 1.2 million speakers. Okay, well that's not as little as I thought it would be. Okay, 0.3 yards. That's mostly Haitian Creole, though. Louisiana Creole, particularly, only has about 6,000. Okay. And I imagine that's a different dialect. Yeah, similar but not the same. Interesting about Hindi, though. I didn't think Hindi would be on the top 4. I could understand Chinese and Japanese, but there's probably something in American history I don't know that would make that make sense to an American, but to me, I'm not exactly sure if that's just through natural immigration or if there was some kind of event that caused an influx. Oh, bunker. Like if there was some kind of event that just consequently caused an influx. Like an influx of people. I guess it must just be going off of my area on that. That's fair, that's fair. There's about 3.8 million Indian language speakers in total, across many different languages. But there are a lot of Hindi speakers where I live. Oh, okay. That's something I need to be cognizant of when we talk about India as well, is when I think, it's probably just my ignorance, but for a country that large and a population that dense, there would bound to be multiple languages and dialects. But really all I would know about is Hindi, even though that's not accurate. You're absolutely right. There's way more than that. That's just my ignorance. Yeah, Hindi is mainly spoken in the state of Delhi. I see. I almost hit that bird. There's just a pelican around here. Well, at least it's smart enough to get out of the way. That's me saying shit out of my ass, though, so take it with a grain of salt. Fair, fair. I'll keep... That's fair. That's fair. I wonder if I should get back to learning a language myself. Actually, speaking of languages, I really need to get the rust out of the cogs in my head in programming. I keep finding things that I think are going to be useful. What is that ball doing? To learn Chinese with me. It's not the hardest language in the world or anything. Well... Oh, I'm gonna go into the water. This is a cry for help. It's ruining my life. Is it that complex of a language? Ooh, chip in. A double bogey chip in. I was told that the killer in Chinese is inflections. And I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I had been told that it's normal for a sentence to have about 8 inflections in it. And I do not know what that is, I'm sorry. It's that hard. I could see being multilingual being extremely handy, too. I said, I also frequently go to the Chinese supermarket, and you? Like, oh, yeah. Actually, that's a interesting segue. We have a chain here called TNT Supermarket, and there's normally not a lot of things in there that pique my interest. Except for one. There's one thing. Sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla soda. That shit's amazing, and I'm upset that we don't have it here. It's sarsaparilla soda. We don't have sarsaparilla much here either. Yeah, it's... There was a certain brand I was showing. Oh, we got an advertising coming in a minute. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can finish this hole in the next 60-odd seconds. And then we'll take a 3-minute break. No, don't throw money at me. I don't need the money. I just fucked up and gave the wrong paperwork, thinking it was preliminary when it was actually onboarding. And I had to do it to get features I wanted. I don't need the money. Don't throw it at me. Alright, we're about 10 seconds away from ads, so I'll put us on standby here. And we'll see you in 3 minutes.
頑張っていきましょう。
拙者に任せてもらおう。
And we're back. Hey, good timing. Ads are done. Good, good. All right. Let's see. We are on hole 12. All right. This should be pretty easy one to do.
ナイスショット。
All right, on the green and one.
バーディーチャンス。
But yeah, like I don't know why sarsaparilla is not really made anymore. Like all my life, I've never actually gotten to drink one, until I got brought to TNT. And I was given a bunch of cans and was told, you have to buy these, and I went, okay. And then I had them, and they were delicious. And I said, what are these? And he goes, sarsaparilla. There used to be a huge thing in like early to mid 20th century. Here at least. Yeah, like in the early 1900s, it absolutely was. Like you hear about it all the time in film. Oh, that's too hard. Ooh, there we go. Back when soda was made in-house. There, he actually gets to be happy once.
このクラブがある限り拙者にミスはありえない。
フロリダコース13番ホール
We need bootleg soda. I'd honestly love to go back and taste old sodas like that in some bar. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? You'd have a brewery in-house that didn't just make booze. They just made a tasty drink. Like, is this gonna get me smashed? Like, no, it just tastes real nice. No, it's just tasty as fuck. Not to mention bars weren't just for alcohol. It just makes you feel good. It just brings you joy. It's funny, when my grandpa was still around, we were talking about, yeah, I could say the same thing about alcohol. Okay, well, alcohol also wasn't as strong as it was now. But I'm talking, like, medieval times beer. 60% ABV or I don't want it. If it ain't 150 proof. I'm here to forget who I am, not have fun. I only have fun when I don't know who I am anymore. Ooh, I might be able to pull this off. I'm not pulling that one off. Sad reality that it's actually the sentiment of most people. Maybe not most, but a lot. Yes. There are a lot of people who have to heavily rely on alcohol. Like, I'm kind of guilty of that as well. Not saying that I have to have alcohol to have a good time. But, like, admittedly, the only time I'm actually social is when I'm a little bit drunk. After that, I kind of just want to hide in a hole. And alcohol really shouldn't be a crutch, a social crutch. I could just be, you know, being a computer nerd who's probably pretty antisocial to begin with. Yeah, and that's exactly it. And the only time like, if somebody said I have to network with people for a job, it has to be over drinks or I'm not doing it. And, like, it's not healthy for that to be a crutch. And admittedly, that's just like...
15番ホール
Because what alcohol does is just removes your inhibitions. Well, actually, it does a lot more than that, but... When someone says it loosens you up, like really, it's just lowering your inhibitions. But again, like, it's not healthy to rely on it like a tool like that.
ナイスショッ
It's just being cognizant of it. Like my grandpa used to say, if you need a drink, no you don't. If you want a drink, you can have it. But if you need a drink, no you don't. Socializing, Elijah, just makes you care less about what others think of you, hence people who can't dance thinking they can dance. That's exactly it. It's a good piece of advice, but also if you find yourself not really knowing the difference between wanting and needing, that can be kind of hard. Yep, it's true. There are people who don't understand needs and wants. Addictions tend to start with people not realizing they're addicted. That's also true. Like, you would have to be cognizant of that to begin with.
パー4
拙者に任せ
Well, this isn't mischief I've gotten into yet, but I'm planning very soon. I'm planning on buying an Asian forest scorpion about 3 inches long when it gets here. As a pet? As a pet. Interesting. Is the sting dangerous? Or is it just really miserable to get stung? I used to have 2 tarantulas, but one was murdered by a cat and one was sold after we got too busy. Aww. Big fuzzy spiders. The sting isn't dangerous to humans, but it hurts like hell because, you know, big stinger. Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine it hurts. But, I was like, if you're gonna get a scorpion, you have to make sure the venom's not gonna mess you up. Alright, 17th hole. 2 more and we can switch to the last one. Owning venomous invertebrates is more fun, though. It's fun when you don't know when you're going to die. That's why there are people who willingly live in Australia, where putting on your shoes can kill you. I plan on owning venomous tarantula, scorpions, and centipedes as well.
バーディーチャンス
That sounds both intriguing and terrifying, and I'm glad it's not me who's gonna own them.
Nice in. Ha.
The only thing I'm actually scared of is centipedes. Those things are fucking freaky. All those legs can be unnerving. I don't know, every time I've seen a scorpion, it's not a scorpion, a centipede, I just think they look goofy. They're like an accordion bus of bugs. Plus, those ones can get you the easiest, because they can whip their stingers around and get you in like half a second. See, this is something I'm curious on, because when I've talked to like people who sell pets, one of the things they say is people will like falsely attribute affection in things like reptiles, because reptiles can't feel that. Can't feel affection like mammals do. And so people will like mistakenly attribute some reaction a reptile gives them as some like love or affection, when it's really just a response that could be anything else. Could be something like transactional. Tarantulas can't either. They normally misjudge the animal being comfortable with being affectionate. Yeah. So I was like, with insects, that's kind of a thing too, right? You just... It's not like you can make it friends with you. You can just make it not scared of you, I suppose. And that can be a tough thing for some people to internalize. The only spider that gets close to being affectionate are jumping spiders. Because they are actually crazy intelligent. Are those the ones who put little water droplet hats on their head and dance? Because those things are so fucking adorable. Yeah, one of the species does that. Hey, I got a birdie. Plus, their massive eyes give them good eyesight. Most spiders, tarantulas have terrible eyesight. Interesting. Alright, so that was... Hato, I think that was Hato Golf? Oh, Netto Golf. So now, the last one of the night is Tee-Off. With some having mostly just vision of seeing bright and dark. I wonder how a creature that hunts would be able to do so without being able to really see. Like, what other sense do they have to rely on? There's also some cave-dwelling species that have no eyes. Whether to have evolved them in the first place, or that trait devolving as it became unnecessary. Interesting. How would it be unnecessary for a predator to not have eyes? Well, caves are pitch black, no light to see. So they're unnecessary. Yeah. So then how are they hunting then if there was no light? Oh shit, this is the first one. Okay, we'll see how different this is, because I started them up to see if they worked, but it looks like tee-off is a localization of the first golf game we played, perhaps. We'll see here in a minute. Spiders tarantulas have insanely sensitive sensing hairs all over their bodies that can feel the slightest movement around them. Okay, so it's a sense of touch. Okay, so this is a localization of the game we played previously. So we've actually finished today's installment. Okay, hang on. Maybe the courses are different. We'll see. They're also deaf, so it's the only sense some have. That's interesting that you can get away with only needing a sense of touch and locomotion to stay alive as a hunting creature. Okay, no, it's the same courses. Okay, so tee-off is then disqualified because it's a localization. Well, and you know, that kind of works out here because we're getting close to the 4 hours anyway. Oh, as a human, it's just incomprehensive as an idea. Yeah, because we use all of our senses. We can't imagine ourselves with only one sense, because that's all we've ever known. Right, and so that's a good point. How do you live without it? How do you live without it if that's what you have? Well, we've actually finished the games I have queued up for the Dreamcast for this installment of the challenge. So actually this works out pretty well because I have to be up bright and early to get to a medical appointment at like 8 a.m. So this gives me a little bit more time to finish some last stuff before I get into that. You can kind of get a feel for it if you're born with it and lose it later. But cases of complete loss of a sense are pretty rare. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. So, I normally would raid over to somebody, but unfortunately, I can't really stick around for the raid like you normally would as a raider, or as the person who organized the raid. So I think we're just gonna wrap it up here for tonight. But let's switch on over back to Hold, and then we'll do a quick summary before wrapping up tonight. All right. Well, this worked out pretty serendipitously. Worked out really well. On Friday, I accidentally fixed the Sega Dreamcast. Because the problem I was having was massive video issues with it. It was giving a lot. The pattern looked like interference. And so what we were getting was random bands of white static that would wipe up and down the display. And after some troubleshooting and not getting anywhere, I haphazardly swapped to a different power supply, and the problem went away. So that's the whole reason we were able to do a challenge this week instead of me scrubbing it next. So that went pretty well. But yeah, so for the Sega Dreamcast, we got through 3, and that was the Golf Shiyuyo Adventure Hen, and then Golf Shiyuyo 2, Netto Golf, and we just started Tee Off, but it turns out it is a localization of Shiyuyo Adventure Hen, which we already played. I was informed that there's a sports game that has a golf game in it. Sunfall brought that up. I might review and try and find that, and then when the next challenge occurs, we'll start with that game and then switch to another platform. I have to figure out what platform to do next, because we have as of right now, I think we have the Saturn we haven't done yet. The Atari 8-bit line we haven't done yet. What else? I think those are about it. Or at least those are what are immediately available. But we'll oh well, I mean if we run out, we run out. I think for 65 Sundays, this is a pretty good challenge. I'd be pretty good to put a break in it for a few months. To be completely and totally honest with you. I mean, I do like doing this. Don't misunderstand. It's just a lot. Anywho. So, we won't be raiding over to anyone tonight, because I unfortunately can't do the needful. You know, of chatting with folks and, you know, not just raiding and running. So, let's wrap it up here. So, there's tons of ways to spend your night, and you chose to spend it here, and I appreciate that very much. But, as always, I'm not going to tell you what to do, so I'm not going to tell you to stay out of trouble, but all I ask is that if you do get in trouble, you make sure it's the good kind of trouble. And you all stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.